Okay, Coach Drealan, the last meet that you guys competed at was the SDSU D2 Invitational. Could you break down that meet for the men's side and tell us about some outstanding performances that the men's team saw at this meet?
Yeah, absolutely. This is one of the few regular season meets that is actually scored from a team perspective, and that was really not anything that bears any impact in what we have athletes do. But it was still very cool for us to finish about a half point out of first. So we were right on the cusp there of coming away with a team title, which again, at this point of the season doesn't necessarily mean anything, but was cool just because from a standpoint of being well rounded and our athletes competing well and scoring well. Overall that was great. On the men's side, the best performance, that you have to mention first is Connor Tordson breaking his school record in the weight throw significantly. He's currently fourth in the country in that event and is really looking good. And he came back with a great shot put competition as well. He placed second in both of those events, and not quite as close to his PR, not quite to his PR in shot put, but still up near a qualifying throw. And so he really had a great day from that standpoint. So that really kind of led the way, in terms of national level performances for us. And we have several other athletes that were second in their respective events. Evan Slominski had a mile PR and finished second in that event. And Taylor Myers had a big 5K PR. I had a whole group of 5Kers that ran really well and set 5K PRs in that. A young freshman from us, Isaac Jacks, an Elkton native, set a great PR in the 60-meter hurdles. And he's been kind of known to be a long hurdler. So that was really cool to see that come down, and he made the finals in that event too. So, and I'm probably neglecting a few performances, but it was just a pretty good, well-rounded meet for our men's team.
For sure. I do want to point out one specific athlete. He's been in news for the Dakota State track team for a little while. Trayshaw Roberts, pretty good athlete, won some awards in the past. He had some pretty good performances this last weekend. What are we looking at for him throughout this indoor season?
Yeah, well, he really opened up the season well with a school record heptathlon performance, and is in one of the top few athletes in the country in that. He'll be performing in another heptathlon event this coming weekend, with this being his conference championship multi event. And apart from hopefully being able to win that, he's preparing for the national championships and really has made great strides this year. It's tough to win a national title, for any athlete, but that's in the back of his mind. That's something that he's really striving to do, and it isn't just performing your best on that day. You have to have things go well and be the best athlete on that day. But he's really looking forward to the national meet. Not to look past anything we got coming up, but that's really exciting too. And since we're talking about national qualifiers, we have a third male national qualifier, Jacob Yoakum, in the weight throw, and he hit that in the first meet back from Christmas break. So we have two weight throwers that have qualified for nationals too. So a nice group of athletes qualified so far, and hopefully a few more this upcoming weekend.
Well, that's certainly exciting. Now let's move over to the women's side because we had some amazing and fun, outstanding performances for them as well. Do you mind recapping a couple of really outstanding performances for the women?
Yeah, Fane is the leader there. She hit the qualifying standard in the 60-meter hurdles exactly. 9.10 seconds is what she needed to run, and she hit that exactly in the finals and won that event. And so, really excited to get that ticket punched to the national championships. And she came back with the second place in the triple jump as well. And so, hopefully, she can get qualified in that. There's definitely the potential. for that as well. So that was really awesome to see to have her qualify for the national championships. We had kind of broad swath of athletes performing well. Lindsay Roth, one of our freshmen, was second in the mile, and was very close to her personal best in that, and is hopefully taking some more time off in the coming weeks and make have a chance to qualify, which is certainly a challenge, but is something that is certainly possible too. Lena Matuka high jumped well for us. She is a returning national qualifier in the high jump. Last year, she jumped 5.5, and she's switched gears a little bit this year and is actually training for the pentathlon on indoors and heptathlon outdoors. And so she had a great debut of that before Christmas break in the pentathlon, and is doing another this upcoming weekend. And so we're really excited to see how far she can go in that as well. So and we really have a whole swath of throwers that have been doing really well. Several returners, of course, and a bunch of great freshmen who are kind of getting introduced to the weight throw and have been progressing nicely there too.
Well, that's great to hear, Coach. I have one more question for you today. At this point in the season, a lot of these athletes are working really hard. They're practicing hard. What are some things that, as a coach and as a coaching staff, you guys are pushing for your athletes to get them to the point to be able to qualify for nationals this season?
At the point we're at, we are less than a month out from conference championships, and a little over a month out from the national championships. It's easy to say and harder to do. It's about executing it on race day or meet day. Being able to hit that throw and hit that jump and just put together the great race. And so we try to build confidence from our training. When we do our most intense workouts or had our heaviest throwing days or jumping days or vaulting days. Those are the days that you gain confidence and you see what you can do when you push yourself. And then it's about being able to gather yourself on the meet day, when you have the nerves, when you have the pressure, when you are realizing that this is where it really counts, and really trying to come through and to perform well. And so that, I think, not to speak for the whole track and field staff, but I think that's one of our biggest challenges, is helping people realize that they can perform on Saturdays and put it all out there and trust in themselves to do it. And so some athletes, that has been something they've learned and learned how to cope with and do it naturally, and others, that's the limiting factor to their performances. So I think that's a big aspect to our coaching. There's certainly a lot that goes into it, but if we can do a good job of preparing them Monday through Friday, then Saturday, it's about making sure that we get them to the meet on time and feed them, and they're in their events, and then it's about going out and doing it.
Well, that's great to hear. Thanks again, Coach, for coming in and giving us an update on your team. We're excited to see you guys continue performance throughout this next month.
Thank you very much.